Hi, chicks that mean business. I hit the live button and then I started to stretch and I yawned and it just kind of all got caught on camera. So anyway, no one's here for it. But when you watch it on the replay, I do apologize for the stretch. And yes, I have my alternate fact unicorn t-shirt on because it's Friday and on Fridays we're unicorn. So why not? Anyway, I won't keep waffling on waiting for people to appear live because I've got no guarantee that anyone will. So I will get started with the topic. So today we wanted to talk about asking about the sale, allowing money in, and I decided to share a little bit of the journey that's been happening for me because it has actually created a bit of a change in how I do business. So I've written a few little bullet points down here. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So when look, my background's retail. So I've spent, how old am I now? I've spent a good 25 years, 26 years asking for the sale, right? And it's all been very formula. People come into the store, you show them stuff, do you want to buy, right? So I think maybe in that regard, I had a little bit of a advantage going into business to a certain degree with a comfort level about asking for the sale, because I had all of this in my background. Now, there's the old school way that I was taught, and that was get people on the phone, have a big sales script, and then handle the objections. And if somebody said no, you have to get them to buy straight away. So it was a very push form of sales. Give the post some love in that if you're here, just so I know that that you can hear me okay. And so over the last 4 or 5 months, I've had a little bit of a rebellion, bit of a foot stamp thing, walked away from some of the more traditional sales things, right? So something that I wanted to share. So Andrew was asking about, asking for the sale and the energy and all of the stuff. So let me just work through my list. The first thing that I did, good English, it's that time of the month, so I'm a little bit, words sometimes escape me. So I've stopped the push. I've stopped the grind. I've stopped the 12 hours. I've really actually started implementing more self-care and stopped forcing the sale. I've stopped attempting to make it happen. So you might sometimes feel in yourself that push energy. I've got to make it happen. I've got to get a sale. I've got to do this. That's actually very masculine in energy. And as women, when we allow ourselves to step back into that feminine energy and allow ourselves to be and allow ourselves to show up and allow ourselves to be in that moment of inspiration, of calling in what we desire and letting go of that, the needing to know every single step of the how, that's created a huge shift. So this is part of the spiritual practice that I've been working on and embracing. It's really interesting this came up because we finished on the money module as the final module in the Embrace program that I was running. So vibration and energy is a huge thing. And money has a vibration. Money is a tool. So what I would really love everybody to explore is, what are your beliefs around money? Now, Miriam Castiglia is amazing with this sort of stuff, right? But money has its own vibration. So if you're posting your offers in desperation, if you're getting on calls with people going, I have to close this, and if you're putting a whole heap of need on it, you're actually repelling the thing that you want. Because when we get into a space of desperation and need, that's very low vibration, and money doesn't respond as well to that. So I'm just checking in with my notes. So move from need into trust. And this has been a big thing for me. Have I nailed it yet? Am I perfect at it? No, not perfect at it yet. But over the last 4 months, by immersing myself in my own energy, my own vibration, looking at the beliefs that I have around what money really means, and letting go of the push and the shove and the grind around it all, being able to show up, I am now in a space where I'm calling in my ideal client. I'm vibrating at a level that makes me attractive to people. And people are curious about what I'm doing. They want to know what the change has been. So this is the internal inner game. And this is why I'm like saying everyone needs to come and do Embrace, right? Because we clear all of the BS stuff that holds us back from showing up authentically as our true selves. Because if we're only half living, if we're operating from masculine, like drive and push energy, when we're not in our feminine, where we're creating all of this need and desperation around money, we're pushing it away. So this isn't to say that we don't need our nice funnels and we don't need our beautiful copy and we don't need all of that stuff, because that is still a part of doing business. But all of your vibration and energy is going to get funneled into that. Now, I'm a big one at the moment. And for those of you that know Laura Deek, she's my operations manager. And I'm getting Linda Bonney to do some stuff behind the scenes for me as well, just to do a big business review and overhaul. You know, she kind of rolls her eyes. It's like, Trudy, you're not using the systems. So I've had a break from systems. And this has proved to me that trusting my inspiration, my intuition, and working on myself has been the key thing to create the biggest shift that I've had in business. Now, asking for the sale, right? So I feel really good in my head. I feel really on purpose. And I know for the previous 3 years to the last 6 months, I was in a space where it was like, you need to make offers that make people money and you need to do this. And I was very much stuck in my zone of excellence. And if we're in our zone of excellence because we think that's going to make us the money and we're not really that happy, that, I'm not saying you need to throw away your whole business, but that needs to change. Because as soon as I shifted from focusing on I need to make the money to I'm here in a space of service and I'm delivering the work and the content that lights me up and I'm completely engaged with, that made attracting money and clients a lot easier as well. But asking for the sale, right? And I talk about this a lot. And the really practical application is ask, but ask with the right energy behind it and ask from the right intention. If your intention is to serve, it makes it a lot easier than going, I need to ask 100 people to buy my shit because the average is that out of every 100 people I talk to, 10 will buy. It's not so much. But here's another thing as well. When you're doing calls to action on your posts, don't give 20 bazillion different ways that people can sign up and buy for your thing. Or, you know, if you want to sign up for Embrace and you have any questions, private message me. Or if you want to pay, here's the link. But don't put 3 or 4 different things. And this is energetically the expectation I have now around my posts is people should know me enough now to just be ready to work with me. Like, that's the energy. And I have had conversations with God. You might call it source energy, you might call it universe. I've cleared my God trauma now, so I'm quite content with saying I had a conversation with God. And I said, let me show up, let me be of service and show me how. So I've done that live around magnetizing your message, being on purpose, but call in your desires. Don't make them needs. Don't put the grabby, desperate energy on it. It's like, I desire to have 20 one-on-one clients. And I know in every cell of my body right now that I have the capacity, I have the energy, I have the health, I have the skills, I have everything to be able to not only just coach 20 clients, but to be of a highest and high level of service to those people. So focus on your energy and get into that space with your work, your beliefs, your focus. Do what you love. Find a way to also implement the practical things as well. Andrew, if you're still listening, if you've got any questions, type them in, because I'm happy to, you know, be dynamic and answer on this as we go. But the biggest change for me was moving from a need to make money to shifting to service and being on purpose. And I still am a business coach, and I still will work with you on your business strategy. But the thing that I was denying in my work is that I'm bigger than that. I create the container. I support you. I work with you on your mindset. I get you over the wobbles. Yes, I tell you what funnels you need to build. And yes, I can give you advice on your landing page and all of the practical stuff as well. But when I was cramming it down into it's only this part and denying all of this, it made everything push, push, push. So it starts with you. It starts with what's going on here. It starts with the energy that you're putting out. You've got to decide that you love what you're doing. You have to call it in, and believe in it 100%. Gather your evidence to prove that you are able, that you are ready. Call in God, call in source. Set it up as a desire. Don't get focused on every single step of the how. Let yourself have levels of inspired action in there as well. And if things don't work, keep going. So I have a 9 limit per round for Embrace. The first round I had 6 people. This round I've got 5. I've still got room for 4 more. I've said to the universe, I would really, really love to have 2 more people. I desire 2 more people to sign up by Sunday. That'd be perfect. But maybe, you know, if it doesn't happen, am I going to beat up myself? Am I going to yell at God? No, I'm going to go, okay, maybe my energy wasn't right, and I'm going to keep going. I've already got 3 people signed up for the 3rd round, so I'm doing well. But it's just staying in grace and ease and gratitude. Because the very masculine form of business, sometimes I just feel like it just likes to overcomplicate things and has 20 bazillion steps, and it's this and it's that, and it's a funnel, and it's My word for the year is grace. Grace is the absence of the unnecessary. And so Andrea said here, moving from my zone of competence to my zone of excellence was a challenge, but moving from that to the zone of genius is even more challenging for me right now. It is a leap. That's why Gay Hendricks called his book The Big Leap. But it does create a shift. And as Andrea said, leaning back is not a natural state for her, because we're being taught the hustle and grind. And this is why I can't handle Gary Vee. He does my head in. Like, he was quoted as saying once that he doesn't want to achieve his goals, because then if he achieves his goals, he's got nothing left. I'm like, oh my gosh, so he's hustling and grinding and doing all this work for nothing because he's put his goals out here. I'm like, I'm going for my goals, because guess what? That's a pinnacle. And then when you reach that pinnacle, guess what? You're up high enough to see the next pinnacle. So Gary Vee does my head in, seriously. And here's something that I share with my Embrace girls and all my clients. And because you're in my group and I love you, I'm going to share it here too, in case I haven't already. I may have. Think big, right? So when I started with my coach, I was Trudy. And then we had 20K Trudy. So what we want to do is hit that and normalize it. And a little side note is, quite often what happens is people go, oh, I've hit a 10K month. Shit, now I've got to repeat that. How do I make it happen? And then they step back into the masculine and they're looking for the how, and they sabotage it. And I did that when I had my first 10K month. I had 2 in a row, and then the 3rd month was 1K. It was just like, I don't know what's going on, because I went into hustle mode, right? So now I've lost my train of thought. Completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's right. So then we had Turak Trudy, right? So we took the number out of it, we took the money out of it, because for me, I'm working on my whole vibration still with money. I'll own it. I'm always really transparent with everyone in here. Oh, I'm actually with everyone. So it just made me Turak Trudy. She's got the nice house, she's got the mansion, she goes on speaking tours, she has her small group of high-end clients, she's still running Embrace, she does a weekend where she does a group of Embrace in the room, and all of that was just working beautifully. So I stepped into that vibration, and I had all of the inspiration just show up to start moving into that. So that's another little thing that you can do, Andrea, especially if that jump into your zone of genius, like there's no pressure that you have to do the jump right now, today, tomorrow, like, but see what that is, step into that Andrea. So I have Global Sparkles now. She's me on a world stage. I step into her energy every day now. Sort of Turak Trudy's sort of kind of like pushed to the side. But step into whoever that is, that highest and best version of yourself that you can imagine, doing whatever it is that you love, and just every day step into her energy and ask yourself, what does superstar Andrea do in these situations? And you get a whole different level of answer. Seriously. You can't see my whiteboard here, but I've got my post-it notes up. I've got This Chick Means Business. I've got Trudy Pavlovsky with the Next Level Embrace and my weekends. And then I've got Global Sparkles. She does Embrace in a stadium. She's like bigger than Tony Robbins. She is freaking awesome. And so I am fast tracking her like you wouldn't believe. Because why would I do 20K sparkles when I can do global sparkles? So get your energy working for you, and keep your office clean, keep the way that people can buy simple, don't overcomplicate it, trust inspiration, pray to whoever you believe in for that inspiration. I pray in the morning when I wake up, and I'm just like, God, do your work through me, just let me do the work. I'm here. And then I'll even talk to God in the shower. And even more ideas will come through. So hopefully that's answered your questions. It's not like a real hardcore sales training, but what I realized after, 9 years in business, as soon as I stopped pushing and attempting to force outcomes and took out the need, things flowed a lot easier. So hopefully that helps. Anyone who's watching, you've noticed the Global Sparkles energy? Yes. Yeah, we had a little personal upset that really made me have to go, here's those decision points showing up. I'm going global. I can't deny who I am. I can't deny my purpose. So if you have any other questions, if you're watching the repeat of this, please post them. Tag me in them. And you didn't need sales training? Awesome. This is what you needed. I have a habit of delivering what people need, even if I'm not sure. It's something that happens. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just have these thoughts, and then I'll get on calls with my clients and they'll ask me a question. I'll be like, oh, so this idea wasn't for me. This was for you. So maybe I'm a little bit more channely spiritual than I've previously recognized. There's a thought. Anyway, lovely ladies, Chicks That Mean Business, please always feel free to reach out if you have questions. I love going live. This is really great practice for Global Sparkles. Like, do I really need that much more practice? Anyway, we'll see. Always here for you. Happy to be of service. Love your work. Keep showing up. Stay consistent. Let yourself be divinely guided. Trust your intuition. Trust divine inspiration when it shows up. And here's to you all stepping into your highest and best self, because it's really freaking amazing when you give yourself that permission. Anyway, I'm going to go get ready for a meeting. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.